everyone. Welcome. It is Wednesday, September 8th, and it's September. So one thing that I wanted to do this month was really focus on the end of summer and getting into the fall and kind of coming down from shop girl summer, hot vac summer, whatever you want to call it, and just really like getting back into the world of focusing on what's important to us and focusing on the fact that cuffing season is coming up and maybe trying to figure out different things that we can do to be our best selves during cuffing season and really end up in the dating experiences that we want. So to help me with that, I'm bringing in Jon and Rene Shapiro, who are the founders of Mindset Wellness CBD. So I'm going to bring them in as I sneeze, because I'm going to have to do that in a second. Welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. Ilana, how you doing?
I'm good. That was a really like on cue sneeze entrance.
It was unbelievable. It was like a TikTok transition.
I practiced it.
Yeah. So I don't want to stop you. To continue. I was very interested in what you're telling everybody about cuffing season.
I'm super excited to have you guys here. As I was saying, I think September is a really important month in our lives and in dating because summer's finally calmed down. I know dating's really tough over the summer because people are away and you might be like trying to date somebody who's going away every weekend, or you might be going away on the weekends or going home to your families and all that goes on. So September, you kind of finally come back. We get back into the swing of things, back into our routines, and cuffing season is coming up. And to those who don't know, cuffing season is really the time from like September to November where the holidays are coming up and the winter's coming up, and you want to end up finding somebody so that you don't spend the winter like alone and lonely, and you want to find someone to snuggle up next to on those cold, stormy nights. And I think this cuffing season especially is going to be way more like real of a thing than most, especially coming off of last year where we really were lonely and isolated and people just don't want to end up that way again. So I'm super excited that you guys are here because I think one really important thing when it comes to cuffing season and this time of the year is like staying calm. And so that's why I know we talked about having September be the calm month. And I'm super excited to have you guys here to talk about it.
Awesome.
We are so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was watching the video that you put up on your story of us when we appeared a couple of months ago. It seems like it was years ago, right?
I know. I can't believe that was this spring. It seems like forever ago, truly.
It's crazy. So cuffing season is here. For those who don't know, Rene and I have been cuffed for 30 years. In fact, I think I may be overcuffed, if that's possible. I am cuffed as much as you can be cuffed. So I'm completely cuffed. And Rene is cuffed as well. So we're talking handcuffs on the radiator cuff. And obviously, first off, I wanted to say hi to everybody in the Seeing Other People audience because I don't get this opportunity too often, but we have come to really meet and know you guys so well that I just wanted to take a second before I said anything and just thank you. Thank everyone in this audience for your support. Thank you for trying Mindset. And then after trying Mindset, being brave enough to share your experiences, because I don't know if you know out there, but when you share your reviews or you share these DMs, they are so impactful to us. Like, I can't tell you how much it lights us up to hear that people are having results and things are happening. And so I just wanted to thank everybody. I just wanted to make sure that it doesn't go past, because the Seeing Other People audience has been so open, so loyal, and so fantastic to Mindset. And I just want to thank you.
Yes, and it makes us so happy to see everyone getting results. It's amazing. Thank you.
And it makes me happy that, this whole time we've been just so, like, we have the same mission. We want people to feel their best selves and to be able to live their best lives. And sometimes that's really difficult to do, especially with how crazy the world is right now. And that definitely makes dating harder. And so I'm so appreciative of your support and your involvement in the community, and even you guys being here right now. So I'm really excited, and I'm excited to talk about different ways we can stay calm. And as you two mentioned, you've been cuffed forever, which is obviously the goal and what everyone who listens to Seeing Other People is trying to accomplish. So for those who didn't hear the episode, and if you didn't, I'll post a story about it with a link to it later after this. can you just give a brief recap of how you two met, and then also get into, Jon, the anxiety that you had and how you worked to overcome it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So our stories are both completely different.
Yeah,
we tell the story a little different.
Well, because we had different perspectives, obviously. The consistent in the stories is I was 19, it was 1990, Renee was 21, 3 grades older. I don't mean to brag. And she was from Hewlett, Long Island. I was from Lawrence, Long Island, but we didn't know each other growing up. And we had mutual friends living on 22nd and Lex in the city. And I had just entered the music business right out of high school as the rapper John Saint. The Pentagon will keep us 10 minutes till the minute going, want to get it going. You two could rest in pieces. The deceased is the best. Determined the violence into the child's eyes. Get through tears and silence. Fears madness. Who's the baddest? I can careless because you're careless. And I'm on stage. I'm a CBGBs. I'm doing my thing. But nobody knows I'm dealing with this overwhelming anxiety. But I'm a warrior. I will never give into it. I just keep trying to figure out ways to get past it. It's not easy. That same year, later that year, I was on 22nd in Lexington, and the most absolutely stunning, beautiful, incredibly perfect person I ever saw walked into the apartment that I was crashing in, and she was just everything I hoped and dreamed of. And, you know,
but he didn't tell me the important.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to tell anybody. I don't ever tell myself.
I had no idea. I didn't even think he looked at me or liked me. He, in fact, told me I couldn't have any cookies.
Yeah. I'm sure he makes up for it now and tells you every day.
Yes. But the point is that you never know. Like, you can tell yourself a story and you really don't know what the other person is thinking. And for some reason, I went with my instincts, and my like gut was that no, there is something here. And under all of that, I think he likes me. And if he doesn't, I'm going to make him like me.
Yeah. So listen, as I said, I got very lucky because somebody with the amount of anxiety that I had and the amount of self-depreciation and really lack of self-worth, as much as I had so much lack of self-worth in myself as Jonathan Shapiro at the time, I literally changed my name. I mean, I became Jon Saint. I became this alter ego, this rapper, because I couldn't deal with the insecurities of who I was, this anxiety, this lack, this trauma that I had grown up with. And so I could never imagine that Renee, as beautiful as she was, and as special as she was, would ever see anything in me that I couldn't see in myself. And so it's a great example to people out there, because sometimes, again, I don't want to give people false hope. If somebody says no, maybe it is a no. But, you know, sometimes...
You never actually said no.
I never said no. That's true. I just kept trying to find ways, almost like with my anxiety, I kept trying to find ways to hang in there. Like, let her just know enough that I was so afraid to let her know how I felt. At the same time, I didn't want to give up because I knew this was my moment. This was my moment of happiness. And I just had to figure out what that was. Obviously, if I had CBD at the time, my life would have been a little easier.
Yeah. I love hearing your story because I feel like anxiety is something that, like, when I was growing up, I never heard about it. I feel like it was never talked about until a few years ago. So it's almost like anxiety is this new thing that we're experiencing, but it's not. It's been around forever, and it's been around especially when it comes to self-confidence and feeling good about yourself and comfortable in your own skin. And of course, that always impacts how you date and how you feel about dating. And I'm sure you felt like, no, this is never going to happen because I'm me, when the whole time Renee was like, why is he pulling away?
Right.
So I think it's a really great story. And it's also a testament to how, like, understanding who you are and understanding who your partner is and figuring out ways to help them cope with their anxiety is so important. But we're here to talk about cuffing season. We're here to talk about staying calm. Yeah. And I know, of course, we're going to talk about CBD and how that helps you stay calm, as well as a bunch of other ways that we can stay calm. But can you give everyone a little bit of insight into what CBD actually is for those who might not know, and how CBD can actually help you truly stay calm? Because I know for me, I've had so much anxiety, so much dating anxiety. And it truly, like, when I started taking the calm gummies, like I tell Jake this all the time, and I've told people, like, on the episodes and stuff, like, I really think that, like, when I started taking mindset, like, CBD stuff, it really changed the way I was, because I could go home from a date and take a calm gummy and not be overthinking how the date went, or like, are they going to text me? Like, am I going to hear from them? I could just kind of like be literally calm and say like, I had a good time. Like if I hear from them, great. If not, their loss. And I know that's something that some of the Seeing Other People listeners who have tried it have also been feeling. So I'm curious as to like how that actually works scientifically.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, first, let me tell your audience, like I tell everybody, I am not a doctor. I don't play one on TV either. I am not a scientist. I don't have a lab coat. And in fact, as much as I am totally an environmentalist and I love plant medicine, I'm not actually a plant person. I don't have a lot of plants in my house. In fact, I have one orchid that is barely survived from Trader Joe's. Who am I? I'm a person that was really discovered CBD because of a problem I was experiencing. This long-term, very debilitating anxiety that I had gone through several hospitalizations, medications, and a variety of different treatments my whole life, and had not found any relief until I found CBD. Once I found that relief, I became obsessed to understand what it was doing to me because I wanted to make sure I could repeat this feeling again, right? I didn't want to lose it. I didn't want to lose this. I suddenly felt good for the first time. And so I became very interested in what I found. Blew my mind. It was so simple. Your audience is going to understand it in 2 seconds. Follow me for 1 second, though. Follow me down this rabbit hole for 1 second. To understand CBD, you got to forget about CBD. You got to forget about hemp, cannabis, any of it. Just plants in general. Don't think about any of it. Think about yourself, your systems. Inside of us, we have systems, right? We have our circulatory system and our nervous system and all these systems. Now, there's a very basic rudimentary system that controls the homeostasis or balance of all your other systems. That system is called the endocannabinoid system, or the ECS. Okay, there are receptors that are found in every part of your body, including your peripheral nervous system. And they found that these receptors react to what are called endocannabinoids, cannabinoids that we make inside us. This has nothing to do with plants or anything. This is just we make inside us. So when we're under stress or we're under pain or we have inflammation or any of our systems are out of balance, it makes sense that there would be a system to try to get it back into balance. And that's the endocannabinoid system. So what happens is your endocannabinoids get produced and they go to the receptors where you're having this trouble. And it does its best to get it back into balance. But as you're aware, we're living in a modern world with constant stress, bad eating habits, bad environment, all of these different things that play on our endocannabinoid system and play on the actual quality of our endocannabinoids themselves. Now, this is where it gets amazing. They found in the hemp plant, right, this basic weed that grows in almost any field, they found a molecule in the hemp plant called cannabidiol. Short, right? They called it CBD. And what they found was that this molecule is almost identical in makeup to our own endocannabinoids, the cannabinoids that give us this balance. And so by ingesting or by using CBD, which is of course non-intoxicating, we are simply optimizing our endocannabinoid system. We're feeding our system in a way that allows it to balance. So what's out of balance? Well, anxiety is not in balance. So you're going to find that that is brought down back into balance. Pain is not in balance. Inflammation is not in balance. And so when you look at the laundry list of things that CBD can do, it seems almost fanciful until you realize, oh yeah, it's trying its best to balance out every system. And so you can get results basically where you need them. It's a very simple, intuitive system. We use a full spectrum product because that gives you the whole of the plant so that you get what's called the entourage effect. It's a full wellness benefit. And it's just that simple. And again, for me, it was a game changer, all those stories, right? The stories we tell ourselves every day, the stories, and sometimes those stories are not good stories. But those stories got turned down. They just were able to give me a place to have some space, just to think without the constant feeling that something bad was going to happen. Because what is anxiety ultimately? Anxiety is our body in a state of hyper alertness, right? We are sensing that something bad is about to happen. And so we are alert. And when you're alert, you're certainly not calm. You're certainly not relaxed. You're alert. You're tense. You're ready to run. You're ready to fight. And so when you're in that state, it's very difficult to maintain a relationship. And Renee can tell you that she has had to do an entire life's work of having to hold all of the pain and all of the things that I went through. It doesn't just affect you. It affects the people that are around you. It affects the people that love you. So when I got relief from CBD, it wasn't just a relief for me. It was a relief for Renee. My relationship got better. My relationship with my kids got better. Why? Because I wasn't an asshole every day anymore. And that's basically it.
And that's basically it. I love the ending of that. Yeah. I mean, no, it is so fascinating because it's like, I love hearing the science behind things, especially things that are kind of like almost mood altering, even though this is like mood altering in a less aggressive way than like weed or anything like alcohol or anything like that. Like this is mood altering in a way that helps you and that actually makes you feel normal. And to anyone else who has anxiety, whether it's like generalized anxiety or anxiety about a certain thing or a certain like person, you know that it feels terrible and you feel like the absolute biggest like pit where your stomach is in knots, and to not be able to shake that feeling on your own is so like it adds more anxiety. And
Yes.
so I think like for me it's like knowing that I have like a jar of calm gummies nearby and it's like, oh, like let me just like I can control this, there's something I can do about this. There's a really great question. When is it best to take a calm gummy, before or after a date? So I have my answer for this, but I'm curious what yours answers are. I would prefer to take one after a date. I think I want to, if anything, I would take happy gummies before dates so that I like was really like feeling myself. I take a happy gummy, listen to some music. I know like that would always calm me down. And it's not like I was like overly happy. I just felt really good and felt like I could be my like most present self on the date. And then after the, like for me, after a date is when I feel the most anxious because I'm like overthinking everything. I'm wondering like, when are people going to, like, are they going to text me back? Or am I going to hear from them? Did they have a good time? So for me personally, it was something that I would take after a date. But I do know people who have taken it before a date or who also can take like a calm and a happy together. But I'm curious what your opinion is.
Yeah, so ultimately, CBD works best when it's taken in a regimen or a routine daily. So that means anywhere between 3 to 4 gummies, one in the morning, one in the midday, afternoon, maybe one at night. The whole idea again is you want to optimize your endocannabinoid system. So it doesn't necessarily work like an aspirin, where if you get a headache, you would take an aspirin, the headache would go away. Now that doesn't mean that you can't take a single gummy and have results. But if you really want to release that anxiety and you really want to bring yourself into balance, you want to be slowly optimizing your endocannabinoid system throughout the day, so that you are, so the answer would be, again, it doesn't have to be the calm mindset, but I would use a happy mindset or a focused mindset maybe earlier in the day and then towards the evening as you wind down. What's your opinion?
So I think everyone's different. I would take a happy and a calm. And a calm. I would take both. It's just like when I get in the car too, like if I'm going on my anxiety, I do get a little like I need to calm. So it's all going to relieve your anxiety.
This has to do with my driving, apparently.
But no, like going on a date, I personally would take, if I was going on a date, but I'm not. But if I was, a calm and a happy, I would take both.
Got it. And to answer the question from Super Rock, this is not an ad. We genuinely are just so like passionate about making people feel better and going back to the original idea. Like this is the time where summer is over. We're getting back into our routines and cuffing season is starting to happen. And I think it's just so important that we all start getting into habits that make us feel calm and make us feel like we can go on dates and be our best selves and can leave those dates and not overthink everything, not over analyze every single thing. Because I know for me, when I stopped doing that, that's what allowed me to like actually find somebody that I worked with. Also, can you guys hear my dog barking?
I wanted to ask you about.
I would name it something in that vein.
What?
It barks a lot.
Yeah, that's Barkley. Yeah. Barkley is living up to his name. He's like, you left me, but I want everyone to know I'm here. And
yeah.
All right, I'm like, I'm not used to recording with the barking going on.
Yeah. No, it's good.
He's adorable. He needs some mind
We've
pet.
got the mind pet for
We
him.
have it.
He
right
needs
here.
it. He has kept me up every night with this.
Our Winnie, she loves the mind pet. It's really changed her anxiety because she had a lot of anxiety too.
But
yeah,
one of the things I love about seeing other people, and one of the things I think that is going to be great as we transition out of what was a very exciting summer for a lot of people. But one of the things that I found talking to people at all of these activations we did is there was this incredible amount of FOMO that was going on. And it was causing a lot of anxiety for people. I was very surprised that there was so much, the pandemic, when everybody was inside, there was, I guess, a relief to some extent that there wasn't this need to either create content or to view content. And now everybody, I guess, is getting back into it, but some people aren't as excited. And so I found that that's causing a certain amount. I was surprised to hear that, that's causing a lot of anxiety for, especially, the people in your age group. This, seeing socially things that are happening and maybe not feeling either that those are what I'm interested in doing anymore, or what I want to be doing, or I should be doing, or what should I be doing? And that's causing anxiety. And now we're coming into this month of September. And as you have mentioned, we're going to start to get a little chill in the air, and we're going to start to begin that process of what does fall look like with a variant hanging around? What does our world look like? What does work look like? What does dating look like? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be different? And I feel like so much of what you do that's so impactful is letting people know they're just not alone in it. That, we're all feeling the same stuff. We're all thinking the same stuff. We're not the only one. You're not the only one sitting up, in the middle of the night saying, oh, if I get to sleep now, I'll have slept 4.5 hours. I know I can do it. We're all in the same boat. And knowing that, there's a comfort to that. Because, the loneliness of it, and that goes back to the FOMO of it, the loneliness of feeling that you're on an island by yourself, feeling what you're feeling while no one else is experiencing it, and everyone else is just moving on, everything's peachy keen, can be very stressful in itself. And so to let people know, listen, everything, shit's going on. And believe me, the things that we post on our Instagram are the best moments in our days. When I get a tractor full of gummies that are melted because it was 90 degrees out, I don't post that and brag about it. So shit's happening in everybody's lives. So, I think that's so impactful and so important. But
Yeah, no, I love all of those points that you brought up. And it is so true that, like, the way the world has been the past year, like, we've all experienced things that we've never experienced before. Where, like, I remember this time last year, I loved that nobody was doing anything because there was absolutely no FOMO. I was like, great, I can just binge as many shows as I want. I can do puzzles. Like, I can color and cut my coloring books all day long and not give a shit about what anyone else is doing. And then the world started to open back up, and it was like, wait a second, now I suddenly have all the social anxiety that I've never had before. And it's like, I remember even, like, with going on dates again after, like, the deep part of the pandemic, I was like, I don't know how to do this because I haven't done it. And what do we talk about? Like, because all there is to talk about is COVID and quarantine and the fact that we've done nothing. And it was even like, going on dating apps was a stressful thing because people would ask, like, oh, like, how was your week? What would you do? And I'm like, I did absolutely nothing. Like, don't ask me that. And so it's really been, like, kind of like a year and a half of all of these new feelings and not knowing what's going to come next. And yeah, there's the Delta variant. And my mom told me yesterday that there's a new Mu variant entering the country. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what does this mean for the winter? And what does this mean for, like, next year and life? Like, I just got a new apartment. Am I not going to be in that apartment ever? Like, was that a waste of money? Like, what if, like my boyfriend now, he has to work in the city because he works in the restaurant business. And if restaurants sort of stay open, but, like, it's not safe for me to be in the city, am I going to be home? Am I not going to be able to see him? And that goes the same thing for anyone who's single. With, like, yes, we want to find a warm body to cuddle up next to all winter. We don't want to be lonely again, but are we going to be able to date this time next month? Or is the world going to shut down again? And so there are so many unknowns, especially right now. And so I think, it's, like, even more important now than ever to be able to control our anxiety and our emotions and to be able to say, like, it's going to be okay. Some of these things are out of my control, but here are things that are in my control. I can have somewhat of a routine. I can wake up, I can go for a walk. I can listen to my favorite podcast or music in the morning. I can take my CBD gummies that I know are always there for me, that I can rely on to keep me feeling balanced, keep me feeling the way I want to feel. And like, things like that, those are in our control. How many new variants enter the country are not. So it's tough, but I think really, like, the things that we can do that are in our control are just so important.
So important. Everything you just said, it just all makes so much sense. I heard someone say, I can't remember who it was, but it was something like, your mental hygiene is just as important as washing your hands, as brushing your teeth. Taking care of yourself mentally is so important. So we can like lean into the uncertainty. So we can, you know, by doing things like taking a walk, taking a bath, taking care of yourself, listening to your body, listening to what you need, waking up every day and doing everything with intention and putting healthy things in our bodies and making sure we talk to other people. Being part of this community is helping your mental hygiene. You know, that is so important. Surrounding yourself with things that uplift you and not bring you down, and you know, just taking care of your mental
Well, I think
hygiene.
that, I mean, you're 100% right. And I think that you touched on something that is so important now more than ever. And that's intention. Intention and mindset, right? Or mood. And whether that's a combination of CBD and affirmation and manifestation and Kundalini and yoga and walking and playing with your dog, whatever that combination is, or coloring, whatever that combination is, do it with intention. Do it with the intention to feel good, though. The reason that mindset works is because there's an intention. So when you take a calm gummy, right, you've made an intention. You go and you go. Oh, geez, we have a dog. Winnie, that's our son. That's that kid. From football. Anyway, when you take a calm, right, you're doing more than just taking a CBD gummy. You're making an intention to feel a certain way. You're saying, okay, I'm going to do this. And by putting yourself into that mindset of wanting to feel calm, you're already meeting yourself half the way. And then the CBD does its business, and then the linalool that's in the calm does its stuff. But all of these things are tools in our tool belts that we have accessible to us. We have all of these tools. So what are our tools? We have CBD, and we have seeing other people, and we have all of those things that feed us and give us love and give us all of this joy. But do it with intention. Do it with a sense of wanting to do something. I'll give you a very quick story. Something happened that was very, very frustrating. And normally my way that I would have dealt with it in business is I would have gotten very angry, and I would have gotten very vindictive almost. And I would have said, okay, I'm going to prove a point. If somebody's going to F with me, I'm going to make sure that they understand that I'm going to come back twice as hard, and it'll never happen again. That's how I've always run my businesses. And Renee said, don't do that. Let's try this. Let's try this different. Let's do something different. Just do something different. Just elevate yourself. Just really live what you're saying. Change your mindset. Choose it. Choose to do something different. Choose a different path. Do not be who you've always been. You've come this far to do something. And I said, fuck, as much as it was so the antithesis of what I thought I was supposed to be doing, I said, okay. I just let it go. I let it go. And the last 2 days have been great. And I haven't been upset. And everything's been fine. And everything worked out the way it was supposed to. And I didn't drive myself crazy. And I didn't get myself angry. And I realized that I was okay without having to feel this overwhelming sense of anger. It was justified anger, but it was still anger. And I had a choice. And so I think all of us ultimately have a choice in how we want to feel. And it's not easy. The work is real work. It's not easy to change how you think. It is not easy, but it is really worth it, because I can tell you, you guys are young, most of the people that are watching this. Don't wait till you're fucking my age and you've gone through a lifetime of shit before you start making these really smart decisions. Make them now. You don't make them when you can. Make them now. Make these smart decisions now. Don't wait.
No, it's true.
I love how you brought up that, like, that Renee, you kind of shook it out of him, like, go about this differently, because I think that's something that it's something that we can do for the people we love, and something we don't do as much as we should and as much as we can be doing. And I know, like, it's really important in dating. Like, if you, like, we all feel like so burnt out when we're dating, and it's like everyone else is succeeding except for me. And so of course, yeah, I'm going to go on this date and it's going to suck, or like, I'm going to go on the date and I'm going to like them, but they're not going to like me, or they're not going to want to commit. And it's going to be the same thing over and over. So then we go on a date with one person and that happens. And then we're like, of course this happened. I can't do this anymore. It's never going to work out. And it ends up being this self-fulfilling prophecy of like, everyone sucks. Nobody likes me. And then when one person out of 7-8 billion people doesn't like you, you're like, yeah, everyone hates me. I'm going to be alone forever. And it's you can't do that. If you're going in with the mindset that's not going to work out or that it's going to go poorly, yeah, it's not going to, because you're not giving it a chance to. But if you go into the mindset of like, I'm going into this, I'm going to have a good time, and maybe I'll make a connection, maybe not, but at least I got to meet somebody cool. Then you're opening yourself up to the possibility of something actually maybe happening. And if it doesn't happen, it'll be like, okay, I tried. I'm glad I tried. Here's what I learned from that. And if it does happen, great, surprise. Like, not everyone hates you. Like, somebody is going to like you back. And it's just so important to recognize that we're following this pattern and having this like behavior repeated over and over that isn't serving us. And sometimes it is hard to recognize that in ourselves. So if we see it in our friends, our family members, people around us, let them know, shake it out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
No, and I appreciate it. And there was no reason to hold that anger. What was the point? There was nothing to it except for my ego telling me that's what you're supposed to do that, you know.
And that's it, Ilana. Like, you said something about you're telling yourself before you go on a date. So if you're already saying it's not going to work out, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're going to do if you keep, and your brain's always listening. Like, your brain is always listening, and you're always talking to it.
Yeah.
You're always telling it things. So if you're going to always tell it negative things are going to seem to happen more often.
Yeah.
And it really works if you just shift your mindset a little bit. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge shift, just a little, like, just be a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little more positive than you are negative. Just a little bit. Just think something good is going to happen a little bit more than you think something bad is going to happen, and just see how that goes.
Yeah. And I know it's hard, especially right now, especially with all the unknowns that we talked about, but it also, like, if not now, when? And you can take this opportunity right now to be more positive, to choose to be calm, to choose to be happy, and to say, like, there's a few months before like the holidays, and I'm going to go on some great dates, and maybe I'll meet someone great. And if I don't, then I'll at least have gone on a few dates and learned something from them, so that when I go on more dates 6 months from now, then maybe I'll meet somebody great.
Yeah, and you always have the choice. You have the choice every day to wake up every day and say, okay, this is gonna be a great day. I'm gonna go on that date. I'm gonna meet that person. I'm gonna talk to that person, and whatever it is, what are you gonna do? Not do that, and then so you might as well try. You might as well just, get it out there and try.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if there's any advice this older gentleman could give you guys, it's just fucking go for it, man. Just go for it. Just go fucking for it. There is nothing to lose.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing. I'm telling you something. Life seems like it's forever. It's just not. Have fun, work hard, play hard, enjoy your lives, but go for it. Tell the person how you feel. See what happens. I mean, listen, what's the worst that happens? You feel worse? Okay, well, take some CBD. You'll get past it.
Yeah, no. Do things that make you happy. Do things that make you happy, and hang out with people that uplift you, and bring that goodness around you. Surround yourself with good people, good food, everything good. Just surround yourself with all the happy things.
Absolutely. I love
Even
that.
if it's just one little small thing, like a great cup of coffee in the morning that you love, like, focus on that. Like, it doesn't have to be a big happy thing. It's not to say we don't have challenges in our life and things that happen, but to enjoy that cup of coffee in the morning and really, like, take, a walk and enjoy seeing the trees and the sky and whatever it is that makes you happy.
Yeah.
It's the little things that add up to the big things.
Yeah. And it just shifts your whole mindset.
Yeah, and listen, and be cognizant of what you're viewing. Be cognizant of what's on that screen. You are going to be attached to your screen, one kind of screen or another, right, all day long. Be cognizant of what's going on that feed. Detox your feed. I do it all the time. When there's just too much. It's just bring yourself back. Follow accounts that are positive. Follow accounts that have affirmations. Follow accounts that are things that are cute puppies, that are butterflies, whatever the fuck it is. You need to fill up what you're seeing. It can't just be the same shit over and over and over again, telling you that you're not doing enough, you're not achieving enough, you're not cool
good
enough. Whatever the fuck is that you're not enough. That's all it's telling you.
Because you are enough. You
Right.
are
Yeah.
enough.
My entire feed is all puppies, and it makes me feel like less stressed when I go on Instagram. My entire explore page is all puppies, and it's like great. I'm like, great. You know what? If I go on Instagram and scroll through 30 minutes of puppies, fine by me. I will feel good.
Exactly. Right. When your screen time notification comes on, you don't feel as good.
Yes, 100%. Well, thank you both so much for being here. To everyone who tuned in, thank you so much. If you want to try the Calm Gummies, which I absolutely want that for you, mindsetwellness.com. And of course, you can use the code Seeing Other People at checkout for 10% off and free shipping. And if you try them, let us know what you think. We love hearing from you. We love hearing how they're helping your dating anxiety. And again, if you're not sure if you should take one before a date or after a date, ask us, ask Jon and Rene. Jon will tell you, take them consistently. And yeah, it's all about working together, coming together, and being our best selves. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jon and Rene. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you, Seeing Other People, guys. Bye.
Bye.